All right, folks, welcome back to another Tennishead YouTube video. And today we're going to be talking about Daniil Medvedev, this guy, and his record and his hateful relationship with clay. Can he make it to world number one without being good on one of the three surfaces that tennis is played on in today's age? We're going to get into that question on this video. Thanks for being here. Well, folks, thanks for being here. Before we get into it, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos from us here at Tennishead. Also, click the links below to join the Tennishead Virtual Tennis Club. You're part of the club. You get a lot of perks. You get the magazine, obviously. Talking about Daniil today. These amazing magazines. Got so many great articles, pictures in it, etc. You also get things like perks. So you can get a head-to-toe ASICS tennis gear with that membership. You get videos from the likes of Boris Becker with coaching. Just tons of stuff. So click the links below to join the club. Now, Daniil Medvedev, as we saw again just this week at the Madrid Masters, Daniil Medvedev does not like clay. But don't take my word for it. Listen to him here.
Yeah, he's not looking happy, Medvedev.
I don't want to play here on this surface.
Well, pretty clear what he's thinking.
So it's safe to say that the big Russian is not a fan of the red dirt. But it's not all bad. But we're going to look at his record right now. It's 10-8 on clay. So about 35% compared to 71% on hard and 60% on grass. So it's quite astounding for the guy who's just world number 2 to be that bad on one of the surfaces and the second most used surface on the ATP Tour. How is it possible that his rankings got so high? Well, he's done unbelievably well on the hard courts. We know that. But why doesn't Daniil like clay? Well, there's a bunch of reasons probably. He's known as a hard hitter, a flat hitter of the ball, and someone who's like a surgeon who just likes to play with precise angles and keeping the ball deep. And when there's inconsistent bounces on the red clay, it's much harder for him to do that because the ball might not be exactly where he's expecting it to be. Like I said, he doesn't hit with a ton of spin to have a net clearance and keep it in the court. He likes to hit flat through the court. Clay doesn't let you hit through the court as easily, and it also doesn't reward people who don't play with a lot of margin for error, which Daniil does not. That's why he's been so good on the hard courts, because it's a more controlled environment. So on the clay, he feels like he can't control the ball as well. He can't play the game the way he wants to play, and the best players in the world want to play on their terms. And I just think he doesn't feel like he can do that, and he's talked about that lots before. But have any players in history not been good on one of the three surfaces but done really well, got to number one? Or is Daniil just, unless he can figure out clay, he's just hooped from getting there to the top? Well, actually, a name Thomas Muster might ring a bell, and he did not do well ever on grass, but he made it to world number one. Thomas Muster won the French Open in 1995 and, like I said, made it to world number one while being terrible on grass. He only played Wimbledon 4 times in his career, and he never won a single match. Pretty unbelievable. But he reached world number one in 1996. So it's possible. I mean, grass is the smallest window or the smallest season on tour. He was amazing on clay, and the amount of points he was able to get there brought him to world number one while being horrible on grass. So Daniil is not alone being bad on one of the surfaces and still being able to have success. Another name, even bigger name, is Andre Agassi, who had different points in his career where he just didn't play some of the majors. He didn't play the Australian Open for the first 8 years of his career. He also didn't play Wimbledon between 1988 and 1999, citing that he did not like the traditionalism. He didn't like the white-only outfit that they still force everyone to wear. Obviously, Andre Agassi loved the style, loved being his own character, but he didn't play the Australian Open for the first 8 years and Wimbledon for those 4 years, and he still was able to get to number 3 in the world. Obviously, after he started playing Wimbledon and the Australian Open, he had a lot more success on the tour and eventually made it to world number one and won a ton of Grand Slams and is one of the all-time greats. But he was still able to have pretty good success without playing 2 of the 4 Grand Slams, which is pretty amazing to see. So it's not the end of the world for Daniil that he can't play his best tennis on clay. He's got a few things going for him. He can still get a lot of points on hard court because most of the tournaments on the ATP are on hard court. He's also 25 years old, so he has a lot of time to figure out how to play on clay, adapt his game. He got let off a bit by COVID where he wasn't able to play Monte Carlo, so he might have had some better wins there. You never know. So he's still got time. He can figure it out, but he is going to have to adapt his game, learn, and grow. And he's going to have to get over his anger at the clay surface for not giving him the bounces that he likes. But it's pretty funny to see. Definitely entertaining. There's never a dull moment when Daniil Medvedev's around. But I want to know your thoughts. What are your thoughts on him, his style, his gameplay on clay? Can he ever get to number one without doing anything on the surface? What are your thoughts on all that? We would love to hear it. Again, thanks for being here, folks. Thanks for clicking the links below. And we will see you next time here on the Tennis Head YouTube channel.